Lonerbox challenges me to a Palestine versus Israel debate. Will I take the bait? Do not worry, the podcast. And speaking of me not being a qualified political commentator, so I mean, we've been kind of beefing with Lonerbox, a gentle back and forth.
I wouldn't call it beef.
It's not beef, right? Look, I'm trying to like not like the guy. I really just don't care enough to not like him. He seems nice enough. Okay, he seems harmless. But we talked about him. I think last week again. I responded to a video he made about us like a couple of weeks ago. It's all getting lost in the sauce. Lonerbox sent me this tweet. Okay, he said, "Hey, do not worry, pod. Just a heads up." Sorry, let me maximize this. So, hey, do not worry, pod. Just a heads up. You're always welcome to come on stream and tell me what exactly you think I'm wrong about, because you don't really make much of a case on your streams. I guess backing up your positions is the boring part. And I replied just by saying lol with a picture of Lonerbox, Destiny, and Elon Levy, who is the personal like PR representative for Netanyahu when the Lonerbox and Destiny went to visit Israel, like all Lebanese people do, you know, your yearly visit to Israel. And then Lonerbox, what did I do? Oh yeah, and then I quote tweeted Lonerbox. And I shared that picture again, and I said, here's Lonerbox visiting Israel with Destiny and Elon Levy, blah, blah, blah. But at the bottom, I did say, despite all this, I don't hate him. Can we fix him, folks? Can we fix Lonerbox? I got a lot of comments saying, no, we can't. But I got a lot of these tweets. Let me just pull up a couple of them. Basically asking me to, like, why don't you debate him? Why are you scared of defending your positions? Debate Lonerbox. So here's, like, the unknown who, like, sent a whole bunch of tweets. He says here's defending Lonerbox's visit to Israel. He says they went to the West Bank and interviewed a whole bunch of Palestinians and gave voices to them, as they did with normal, moderate Israelis and historians on both sides. Funny how disingenuous, scared hacks like you, who can't even speak to Loner, will only mention this pic. Find a pair of balls and actually speak to him, person to person, instead of communicating via pictures from a trip he took, which you appear to know literally nothing about. Grow a spine and talk to man, or stick to your little safe space echo chambers. So very chill response. Then I got another comment from Luen. Says, so your answer is no. I'm too scared to have a conversation with him. And Stan says, you got to take him up on his offer. You going to take him up on his offer or just chirp like a clown? So I got a bunch of these like, hey, go debate him. Be a man and debate him. What do you think? Should I debate Lonerbox on stream about Israel, Palestine?
Definitely not.
Is that what the internet needs? Hey, let me tell you guys why.
I feel like he doesn't want to listen. He's had many opportunities. He just doesn't want to.
I agree with that. And not only that, folks, let me say, I'm not qualified to debate anyone on Israel-Palestine. And guess what? Neither is Lonerbox. Like, you think both of us, like, let's just watch this before I get into this. This is his video when he went on H3, Ethan asked him about his qualifications. Let's see Lonerbox's qualifications very quickly. Let's just remember that.
So when I hear you talk about like Israel, Palestine, or Ukraine, I feel like you have like a really deep understanding of things. I'm curious what your research or like academic background is on this stuff.
I have no academic. So I got a degree in sociology.
Oh.
And then that was in about 2012, 13. And then I completely ditched it and just spent the rest of the decade doing music, like music production,
very nice.
Teaching.
Music.
Performance. And then I always had a kind of like secondary interest in politics. Like I would read a lot, or I would just watch podcasts or listen to commentators. And then eventually after creating, I started reading more. So most of it is just like, if I ever look like I'm really well learned in a particular issue, usually when I was making video essays or streaming, it's usually just because I spent the week before reading as much as I could about it. So it's all just like one thing at a time, you know?
And look, no hate. He's got a sociology degree. I have a marketing degree, okay? He worked in music for 10 years. I work in television, like reality TV and stuff like that. Do you really want a sociology major who was a music professor to debate a marketing major who works in television about Israel and Palestine and the intricacies of Israel and Palestine? In what way are either of us supposed to be qualified to debate this? And like, what are we going to do? Spend 3 days on Wikipedia and see who can read the most Wikipedia articles before we can talk to each other? And whoever manages to remember the most facts from those Wikipedia articles wins the debate? And what happens if I win the debate, or if he wins the debate? Does that mean genocide against Palestinians is justified to his audience? Like, what does that mean? What happens if I win? What happens if he wins? And what do either of us have to gain from this other than like just, you know, having a bullshit conversation? And like, look, again, I'm not qualified. Like, folks, I have a full-time job. I don't know what Lonerbox does. I don't know if he streams all day, if he has a job and he streams in the afternoons for fun. I have no idea what his streaming schedule is. I have a full-time job. I also host this podcast once a week that I have to prep, we record, we have to edit, etc. It takes a couple of days a week to work on this podcast. I train in boxing 3 to 4 times a week, so that takes up a lot of my time. I have some free time, that I have to spend with my girlfriend or people that I love. So where am I going to find the time?
You have a life?
I have a life. So where am I going to find the time to all of a sudden put all of that aside and become an expert on Palestine so that I'm qualified enough to get on a podcast and argue with Lonerbox? And look, if I get on a show with him now and if I get on his stream and ask to debate, he might make me look incompetent because he might know a lot of facts and pull a lot of shit out of his pocket that I could easily refute if I had researched and knew the facts. But because I don't and I'm going to be there unprepared, I might accidentally make him seem way more qualified and make him look like he's making better points than he would be making were he debating someone that actually knew what they were talking about. So I'm not going to put myself in that position for no reason, and I'm not going to make supporters of Palestine look bad just so that I don't look like a pussy. So yeah, I'm going to get on your stream when I'm not qualified to do so. I'm just starting right now to actually just the way he said, he researches before making a video and watches a bunch of videos and does a bit of reading. I've been learning about Palestine as I go. So this whole year, as we've been talking about the genocide and everything, that's when I've been learning before we film, as we film, doing research for the episode, because I want to know the bare minimum before getting on here and sharing my opinion. I only started digging into the Israel-Palestine stuff in 2001 when the Al-Aqsa Mosque stuff happened. That's when I really dug in and really started to learn. I'm gonna read my first book on Palestine in a few months. I ordered it, but it's in the States. For me to get it, it's gonna take a couple of months. But I'm just starting my journey of really learning about what's happening there. So for me to pretend I know enough to get online and debate someone on Israel-Palestine, and someone like Lonerbox, who very clearly is an Israel defender who sits there and tries to justify Israeli soldiers sniping kids in the head, etc. I got nothing to gain from this, but I'm not going to sit here yeah, I'm not qualified to have a debate, but guess what? He's not qualified either, okay? You want to see what a debate looks like between someone who's qualified and not qualified? Not that I'm saying that he's qualified compared to me, but his best friend, his idol, Destiny, did a debate against Norm Finkelstein, okay? Let's just see how that looked, because that's fun, okay? Let's just watch a little bit of that.
Your name, please?
Stephen Bonnell.
Okay.
The idea that Jews would have out of hand rejected any state that had Arabs on it or always had a plan of expulsion is just betrayed by the acceptance of the 47 partition plan.
I don't think you understand politics.
Hamas is guilty of all of these same war crimes, of them failing to take care of the civilian population, of them essentially utilizing human shields to try to fire rockets free from attack.
Essentially?
Essentially, yes. As in, I'm just saying that...
I hate these memes, though.
In terms of how international law defines it, not how Amnesty International defines it, but Amnesty International... But they don't actually apply the correct international legal standard.
You don't know what's the correct
I know, absolutely.
International law. You haven't the clue.
I absolutely
You
do,
haven't
Norm.
the clue.
I absolutely
I
do.
think
But I'm just saying... I'm just...
You want me to answer, or do you want your motor mouth to go?
That you like.
You see, the problem, Mr. Morelli, is you don't know the English language. You don't.
I can read from the UN website itself. In regards to the
Great March of Return, they said, while the vast majority of protesters act in a peaceful manner, during most protests, dozens
I hate these edits.
damages
1 hour later.
land and nature reserves inside Israel and risk the lives of Israeli civilians.
2 days later.
Yeah, but you see,
I know you like them sometimes, only when they agree with you, though.
You got the months wrong.
Oh, I hate
You
that
got the
guy.
months wrong.
You are made of stupid.
She must have been
Okay.
awful incompetent.
This is a horrible edit. I couldn't find another one. But this is what a lot of these debate bros do as well. They just throw a lot of facts at you. They speak very fast. It's like the what's the Ben Shapiro method of debating. So, I mean, yeah, I have no interest in debating Lonerbox, folks. Okay, I have no interest in debating anyone on Israel-Palestine as if it needs to be debated. I'm in in Arabic we say I'm in sakhi fil mawdu'. It's like you're making a mockery out of such an important topic, people getting genocided in a fucking country. I'm gonna sit there and fucking debate it on Twitch with Lonerbox as if to give merit to anything that he has to say. So, I mean, those are my thoughts. Do you feel like debating Lonerbox on Twitch? What do you think?
They're out of context info dumps.
So yeah,
I think.
I agree. So yeah, nothing good comes out of those things. But thank you for the invite, Lonerbox. Okay, have a great afternoon, whatever time it is in Scotland right now. Enjoy, my man.
I feel like we can't bring ourselves to hate him because he just looks like your random Lebanese cousin.
Do you think he looks like me? A little bit, maybe. If I shave, there's a little bit.
He looks Lebanese.
He looks familiar. There is some. Yeah, you can't escape.
Familiar.
You can't escape your Lebanese side. I know you're kind of ashamed of your Lebanese half or something, but
we're ashamed of it as well.
But you got to embrace it. You embrace your Lebanese half a little bit more, Lonerbox. Okay, less visits to Israel.
Enjoy it.
Do not worry. The podcast